Hello everybody, welcome back to another Clutching Gamer video, and today I'm going to... can't even talk. I'm not even going to start again. But you know what, I'm not going to start again. I'm going to let that blunder, I'm going to let that I'm going to let that sink in, you know, show you guys that I can be authentic, I can be the real me, I can show myself, and I'm not scared. But all philosophy aside, from yours truly, I want to elaborate on something I spoke about before the New Year's, albeit very brief. I did mention a certain something I was working on, and this is huge in like in the scale of what we know. Obviously, it's not the biggest thing you'll ever see, but it's the biggest thing that we'll ever... Well, no, it's not... That sounds bad. It's not the biggest thing we'll ever do, but it's one of them, and it's the biggest thing we've done yet. The thing is, I'm making this video because I want to talk about it, but there's also some stuff I just can't. So, let me... fucking hell, let me keep it brief. So, I've been doing a lot of work with a few friends of mine. Now, it's a very short story, but a while ago I went to college. Well, I went to school and college with a man named Mitchell Corrado. I went to school with him. I didn't talk to him at school, but college, we both did performing arts together, and I got to know him a bit. However, I didn't really know him that much and that well. His friend at the time, well, they're still friends now, but like, at the time, I don't really know them either. Sophie Thompson did media, and I, again, didn't talk to her either in school or college. And it wasn't till I left college. I'm kind of getting on with my own life. I'm still doing YouTube, and I'm doing the podcast and whatnot. But I've not really got a lot going on. And so I meet up with Caden one day. We go to the park and we're having a chat about life, and he talks about some of the projects he's been doing with Mitch and his crew. I'm like, damn, I miss acting, because I did acting in college. I enjoyed it. So I said to Caden, I said, is he looking for people to star in his upcoming projects? And I was like, put a good word in for you. And what do you know, Mitch is more than happy. You know, remembering seeing my college bravado, more than happy to let me join. And we did our most recent project, Hunters, which was, quite a success for him on YouTube. I had a 20-second cameo in that, playing Jason Voorhees. I think I did an outstanding performance. Best actor in it, I know. Where's my award? I don't know. But we've worked on stuff later on. After Christmas, I think it was the 29th of December, we attempted to film another short movie, which is quite a creative one for Mitch, called 3v1. And, I financed a lot of the props. I had this cool suit. This was, obviously Mitch's vision. But I liked the way that everything looked. And we attempted to shoot it. We spent a whole day shooting it. And unfortunately, nighttime just come around too soon, and we didn't have the proper equipment to prepare for that, because we didn't realise how long it was going to take. Basically, we was filming on one location, and someone told us that we couldn't film there, even though it wasn't his land. We just got told we couldn't film there. And looking back on it, maybe there should have been some preparation about the permits, but it don't really matter. At the end of the day, was there to do a not very long movie. It was like a short film. Anyway, we kind of, brushed up, was like, fuck it. And then we went to another location. This location was completely public. It was completely legal to film. However, this was quite late in the day. So due to this setback, it was quite late in the day. We had, was killing daytime hours, and we just had to crack on. I had a nap in the car for about an hour, because my character wasn't doing anything in this particular slot of time, and I awoke, and I just saw my phone, and I saw that it was nearly sunset, and I just knew that this film wasn't being finished, and Mitch was very upset that we couldn't get it done. It's completely understandable, but we've rescheduled it now, so we're reshooting it in spring, which is fine. More daytime hours and plenty of time for me to actually get in shape. I got bigger for this character I was playing, but I didn't necessarily like the physique I had. Overweight, to put it lightly. Very. And a lot of the Christmas timber showing, and I wasn't really a fan of that. So maybe I can correct that by spring, I hope, with a lot of effort and dedication. I can look a bit more toned for the role, but we'll see. Anyway, enough yapping. This ties into what I'm talking about, trust me. Basically, when me and Mitch was talking in our group chat for 3v1, we held talks about any potential other projects that he'd been working on. Now, he mentioned a project he's working on, and that's out right now, actually. The first episode is the Nosy Bonk incident. I'm not in that. I don't think he has any, spaces for me, whatever. But, it looks good. It's a shame, but, we spoke about that. We spoke about another short film of his. We spoke about, obviously, 3v1, which I knew I was going to be in. And then we spoke about another one. And I was like, how many projects do you want to do? And he was like, fucking lay it all on me. So I was like, fuck it. And at the time, I was kind of like brainstorming. I was like, well, my favourite genre is, and I don't really know how we could pull this off, but I'm sure we could, Westerns. And Mitch was like, hell yeah. And then the rest is history. We're making a Western movie. Now, I'm not really going to go into, too much, but basically the talks have been held. We've got a group chat for it. I am producing this movie. I'm pouring a lot of money into it. I've set up a budget. Very expensive. It's coming out of my pocket, my wallet. But I think the return is going to be good. It's being written by 4 writers. Mitchell, Sophie, my dear friend Anthony, I'm sure you guys know Anthony, and Caden. They're writing this movie. I'm not sure who's directing at the minute. It's either Sophie or Mitch. We haven't really got that far in. But basically, we've been talks in the group chat, and we've decided that we want this film to be like an actual film. Like, not a short film. At least nearly an hour long. So, the proper shit. And it's still going to go on YouTube and everything. It's, it's not going to be in cinemas or whatever. However, Vinny pitched an idea, who's also in on the project, by the way, the GOAT. He pitched an idea for us to have it in our local theatre for, some dollar. Saying it might earn us some revenue. And I thought, sure. Of course. Now, if it wasn't already inherent, I will be playing the main character of this Western, and I cannot wait. Western is my favourite genre. I'm sure I've stressed it enough. I love Westerns. The Dollars Trilogy, The Ridiculous Six, which, is a comedy one, but still funny. It's still good. Magnificent Seven, Hateful Eight. Honestly, or Tombstone. All these movies, man. I fucking love Westerns. Clint Eastwood, The Dollars Trilogy, the GOAT. But honestly, to be able to play a cowboy, to be able to play an outlaw, my mate, it's a dream come true. I fucking can't wait. But because of the caliber of this movie, there's a lot of stuff that is going to go into it. Like, we won't be filming it anytime soon. That's the only, that's one of the things that, just comes with it. It takes time, and that's completely fine. This probably won't be filmed until 2027, and that's at the earliest. It could very well be later. However, Mitch and co are planning on writing it this year. So, early preparations all out of the way. Once it's written, we'll have a rough idea what we're doing. I'm also going to get a super visual role on the writing. Like, I'll just be like kind of, just watching over it, giving some ideas and okaying and approving stuff. Mainly just because it's mine and Mitch's thing. It's our idea, so he wants my help approving it and bringing this vision to life. We've got Vinny on board as our set designer, our budget manager, and most of all our visionary, our creative visionary. Vinny, the goat of arts, to say the least. But yeah, once that's done, we can get all like the budgets for what we need, costumes, props, filming locations, and whatnot. And honestly, I'm very excited. The only tough part is the fact that we live in the UK, which is not New Mexico. It's very hard to make it look like a Western, but we've talked about some stuff and we know what route we're going to go with it, and we've found out some ways to kind of bypass a lot of stuff, and a good chunk of it is going to be indoors, so that part doesn't really, it's not really that much of a worry, but it is still an obstacle that we're learning to overcome. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you about this because I've been super excited about it for the last couple months, and I genuinely can't wait. Yeah, honestly, it's just again a dream come true. I'll keep saying it because it's true. But yeah, anyway, that's enough yap. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll keep you updated. See you in the next one. Peace.